Well, let's start right where the Niners have just last finished off. The Niners today continuing to fill gaps on the defensive line depth chart. They added a pair of edge rushers on Monday. Well, today it was Browns defensive tackle Jordan Elliott. And if you don't know Jordan Elliott, it's not the same Jordan Elliott who does media creation, 49er creation, which, I know you look at that hunk of a Jordan Elliott and you say, this guy is a two gapper. But
Yeah.
this is actually a bigger Jordan Elliott than that Jordan Elliott. This Jordan Elliott's 26, third round pick of the Browns. Started at Texas, went to Mizzou, came out in the 2020 draft. I've always liked this player. Why? Because he's like naturally athletic at 310 pounds. He doesn't, he doesn't have to. That's his walk around weight. That's where he's natural. That's where he's quick. That's where he's really in shape. And he's got great quick feet. He's had more success as a run defender than, among defensive tackles. I think he was sixth best in the league in run win rate. So there's no question that he's been doing the job against the run, but I think he's got quickness to really help the 49ers as a pass rusher. He started 31 of 34 games for the Browns. He's been in this wide nine defense before, so that's the good news. And he posted 4.5 of his 5 career sacks over the last couple seasons. So I like it. I like this move a lot. I've liked this player for a long time. Raj, give me your thoughts on the addition of the day, the great Jordan Elliott.
Yeah, shout out to Splash Cousin, the original Jordan Elliott,
That's right.
like you said, Niners Nation writer and everything, content creator extraordinaire. I actually was happy about this move. He's younger, he's cheaper, and he's healthier than Arik Armstead. And I know a lot of people are hung up on the Armstead move, but the 49ers needed a defensive tackle. Whether Armstead is gone, because there's rumors that he isn't officially gone, whatever that is, Javon Kinlaw also signed a contract with, the Jets. So the Niners needed a run stopper. They needed the gap plugger. They needed a defensive tackle. No matter who he's replacing, doesn't matter. He started, like you said, 31 of 34 games. He's a very good, stout run defender. And what was the issue in the playoffs for the 49ers? Stuffing the run. So naturally, you go and improve the weakness that you had in the playoffs because they got ran all over by the Packers, Lions, et cetera, et cetera. They were having trouble. So I like the move. Again, he's young. 10 million for 2 years. It's a steal. I think he's a solid player. He's very athletic. He kind of reminds me a little bit of DJ Jones, who was linked to the Niners, over the week. He's got that ability to plug the lanes. He's athletic. He can crash the guard in the center, in the middle. I love the pickup. I know he's not the splashy name, but this is what the 49ers do. I was telling you off camera. They get these middle tier guys that people don't know. Chris Kasurik goes in there, molds them. He's the highest paid defensive line coach. And then after they're done with the Niners, they get more money than they'll ever, get coming in because Chris Kasurik makes them look better than they ever have. And then the 49ers will get a compensatory pick in a year or two. So I love it. The formula has been working. I'm happy about the signing. Yeah, young guy, not bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like it as well. I mean, look at this footage. I'm going to share the screen on this one.
Do it, baby. Oh yeah.
Look at this monster. And I love it on the loop. You get to see the same play just 19,000 times. But I mean, like anybody can have a play.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at the quickness, look at the power, look at look at him just overpower the left guard.
It's amazing.
67. He just jolts him. It's like me trying to block him. I don't know who that is, but that guy just got eaten. And you're talking about a guy who carries a lot of weight in his lower body. He's 6'3", 310, whatever. But man, when I watched him at Missouri, I thought, wow, this guy can really get the passer now. Now he's been much more of a run defender, as far as what he's been able to get done. But he's played in this wide nine. He knows the angles. He knows the defense. That's a big part of it. And, he's a cheaper, healthier body than Armstead. Is this guy going to be all world? I'll say this. I wouldn't put any limits on him. I think he's a starter kind of a talent.
Okay.
But I think it's a great addition because they're really getting a big athletic guy who's already got NFL experience in your scheme, and he can go get the quarterback. He's got quickness. He's got power. He's been really good against the run. He's healthy. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's one of the better moves they've made so far. I'll
Like,
stop sharing so we don't get too dizzy. But yeah, there you go. There he
yeah,
is, Jordan Elliott whipping the left guard. You're going down. He didn't sack the quarterback as the ball came out, but he's putting heat. He's putting heat on the quarterback.
I like it.
Raj, I don't know. I mean, I love it. To me, like I know there's been a lot of people. I can be really really critical, but then there's other times where I'm like, I'm not as critical. My good friend Dieter Kurtenbach, who covers the Niners for KNBR, he was just on last week, and Dieter has an article in Niner Web Zone that I saw linked, and the headline I haven't read it yet, but it's entitled "The 49ers Are Getting Worked Over in Free Agency," and all I would say is there's no chance in hell that that's accurate. Um, they're not getting worked over. I mean, if you said to me, I can have Chase Young or Randy Gregory or Leonard Floyd and Yatir Gross Matos, I'm taking Leonard Floyd and Yatir Gross Matos. Now, especially Floyd. I mean,
Hmm.
Floyd is you knew when the Niners picked Brandon Staley that there was a very good chance you were going to see Floyd. You know, and I'm a huge Leonard Floyd fan. He gets around the corner. He's 6'6". He's super athletic. He's lean. He's explosive. He's a much more productive player than Randy Gregory. He's a much more substantial player going forward than Chase Young. And to get him for 2 years at that price point, I thought that was awesome. I mean, I love the Leonard Floyd get. And then Yatir Gross Matos has been through some tragedies, and he's been through the ups and downs. He's had kind of a really interesting story, but there's no doubt he's a late bloomer. He's 6'6", 6'7", huge wingspan,
Mhm.
big bodied guy with a motor, and he's healthy. I mean, you're talking about bench pieces at this point. At least I thought, and to me, those three guys. And then what have they lost? Kinlaw went to the Jets. Darnold went to the Vikings. Charlie Warner went to the Falcons. What's the piece that they've lost that's really, I don't think they're getting worked over at all. I mean, I'm kind of happy that they parted ways and are doing things a little cheaper. And I love the Jordan Elliott pickup. I think there's tons of upside there. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? Are they getting worked over in free agency, or are they just not? They didn't land, two or three of the biggest names. They didn't get Christian Wilkins, and thus people are kind of like,
Yeah, I think part of it is everybody's chasing that high of the splash. Like you get the adrenaline rush when you see the splash. Like Hargrave last year was like, oh my god, the splash. Like I'll be honest, when you post news and you get all the the hype and everything, everybody gets excited. People want the exciting moves. But honestly, Armstead, listen, that might be the big guy we're losing. Great player in the playoffs, but it doesn't necessarily matter if he's not playing in the regular season. Like he could be as good as he can be when he's in, but when he's not in and he's missing games because of the plantar fasciitis, which is going to linger, you're not getting any production out of the guy that's just taking a lot of money. So I like the guys they got. You mentioned all the stats and all the good stuff about him. Leonard Floyd has played 108 straight games, Larry. One of the things that I loved about these three signings, like, yeah, they're not world beaters. They're not elite guys. They're good, though. They're very consistent and they're durable. They've played many games without getting hurt. Knock on wood, they don't. You need durability. You need depth. Like, this is the thing. Everybody now is all of a sudden mad the 49ers lost Kinlaw. Before they lost Kinlaw, people were saying he's the biggest bust in history.
right,
He's
get him
this,
out of
he's
town.
get him out of town. And now you're telling me you're upset that you're losing Kinlaw. You gotta keep the same energy. You either like him or you don't. Like I feel happy for Kinlaw, Larry, because yes, he was healthy finally and he got some playing time and he got $7 million, Larry. Good for him. But let's not sit here and say that he hadn't had years of injuries and people wrote him off. Chase Young was inconsistent. We had people all offseason saying, we don't want Chase Young. He's inconsistent. Let him go get his money somewhere. He's had ACL injury before. And the other guy, Clellan Ferrell, I loved him, but he did get hurt at the end of the season. How reliable is he coming back off a meniscus tear? Same with, Armstead, meniscus surgery. So I like the guys they got because they're cheaper and they're durable and they're going to be able to do the same things that those other guys had. They're just not the flashy names. The Niners do this every year. Samson Ebukam, Charles Omenihu, Kerry Hyder, Arden Key. I could keep going and going, Larry. They do it every single year. They retool the defensive line with cheap guys. It to me, it's fine. Like, I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh man, oh my God, they got Yatir Gross Matos. That's a needle mover." It's not a needle mover, but it's depth, and the Niners know their system. And at the end of the day, teams are chasing the 49ers, Larry. Teams are trying to load up to take the 49ers down. And I think that's what gets the fans upset is they see the Eagles. They're making moves. It's like splash names. They expect the 49ers to keep up and make the splash moves. They still got Bosa. They still got Warner, who took a huge restructure on his deal. You still got Mooney Ward. You still got Kittle, Debo, everybody else on this roster. So I'm happy, man. We got great depth, Larry. At the end of the day, that is durable. And that's the key.
I mean, if I really didn't like it, I would say I didn't like it. But Jordan Elliott is a 300-pounder who can rush the passer and is really good against the run and is healthy. And